body, it's limited. So when I see you now, Donna, it's me, my soul, seeing you through what? Through my physical eyes. My soul can't function without my body together. We're married. It's a tough marriage. It's an easy one either. We're married. But my soul can't function without my body can't function without my soul. They're together. But if the soul would separate from the body at one moment, you know what happened? It's not bound by physical laws. That's what the Talmud means. Watch this. When the baby, before it's born, the soul is not completely connected to the body. The soul therefore sees from one end of the earth to the other. It has clarity. It knows the whole Torah. It knows exactly what it has to do. It sees the world because it's not really fully connected to the body. What happens? The angel hits it on the mouth. What does that mean? This is an amazing statement the Kabbalah say. You know what it means? It means the angel hits it on the mouth because it gives the child the power of speech. Once you have the power of speech, you forget everything. You know what this power of speech means? Power of speech means your body and soul are united now. They're connected. I can take my thoughts, my soul thoughts, and I can express them to you. The body and soul are now totally married. Beforehand, the soul was separated from the body. Now they're totally married, and when they're totally married, the body is confined by the soul. And now he forgets. He doesn't remember everything anymore. Thank you, just testing. Very good. Exactly right. The soul is now confined in the body. That's exactly right. And that's why, you everyone notice the Moshe Rabbeinu, the Moses diet? You heard of the Moses diet, the Atkins diet? You're Atkins. You heard of the Moses diet? Matzah. Scared of the matzah forever next year. What's the Moses diet? You know what the Moses diet is? He goes up on the mountain for 40 days to get the Torah. What does he eat?
Nothing.
Nothing. That's a good diet, huh? He loses a lot of weight in that diet, huh? 40 days, he's up a mountain, he eats nothing. Right? That's going to be a hit diet. How could he eat nothing for 40 days? How's that possible? That's right. Because the relationship between his body and soul had changed. The relationship of our body and soul is that our soul is decreased and our body is felt. Moshe is already at the higher level, which we're going to get to at some point in history, in reality, where the soul has some of its power and it changes the body. And therefore, he had a body, he had a soul, but it's not like us. When we don't eat for one day, our bodies scream. We don't learn Torah or do spiritual acts for one day. I'm okay. Most of the opposite. His soul's in control. I can eat, I have a body, but I don't need to eat, I have a soul. Change the dynamic. That is man. Man is this combination of Adam, man from the earth, Adamah, and also Edmel Elyon, I'll be godlike, that he has a soul. It's this combination that he's the only creation in all of reality that has this, has these two components that are combined. Nobody else has it. Animals have life force, they don't have souls. It's something else. We have this highest level and this other level, and they're put together. And that's our life. And I'm going to show you now, last point here, why this is also our greatness. Before I do that, any questions, comments, questions? Yes.
Did other nations learn the Torah when they're in the mother's womb?
Let's say yes. Okay.
Let's say no.
Okay.
If it's no, then why do they have this too?
Well, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say no, because I would say that what every person is seeing is the reality of the world as it is. Every human being, every human being is made in the divine image. Right? So every human being, Jew or non-Jew, is made in the divine image. So they are, everyone is experiencing and seeing, the Torah that's relevant to them. The reality that's relevant to every human being. Yeah.
So a prophet then has a soul that's more elevated, that's why they can see things.
Well, they're more in tune with their soul, which is what happens in our lives also. The more you go and do spiritual things, the more in tune you get with your soul. Cooler out there, Adam? Is it cooler out there?
Yeah, a little bit.
So we go with this one too. So, and that's what he said also about Shabbos. Shabbos, if you tune into Shabbos, you can feel Shabbos. Shabbos, your soul is more apparent if you tune into it. Yeah, right.
So you said souls. Now when we began this lecture, you were saying that
It's for the spiritual aspect of that, right?
So that's not the same.
Right. It's called a nefesh. It's called a life force. Anything that's alive is a life force, but a soul is something else. A life force it's alive, but it's not a soul. And animals don't have souls the way we talk about. They have a life force.
Start eating kosher meat.
Yeah.
Just eat kosher meat.
Yeah.
You start eating kosher.
Right.
Physically, your body will change so that spiritually you are able to connect with the relationship with the
Well,
Creator.
that's part of the idea of kosher.
That's part of it.
Yeah,
That's part of it.
kosher means that
That's where the physical becomes the spiritual, because you become spiritual when you start physically ingesting in this physical body your spiritual.
right. The food that you eat affects you, right? You are what you eat.
Yes.
You heard I say you are what you eat, right? So there's a lot of truth to that. That's one of the reasons, that's the expression of kosher. Kosher means the animals that are kosher are herbivorous. They're non-predators. Why? So the Vilna Gaon says because a predatory animal will give you a tendency towards being a predator. Okay? They'll give you a tendency to be cruel. And the animals that we eat herbivorous animals only because the nature that we're going to ingest in ourselves will affect us very, very greatly. And whatever you ingest affects you. You can see it. I mean, I always say to people, I remember when I went to school at NYU, and I remember I used to live in the village, in Greenwich Village. I remember there was a street I used to walk down, and there were two restaurants there. One was McSorley's Bar and Grill, and one was Eden's Healthy Restaurant. And I remember the difference. Those coming out of the McSorley's Bar and Grill after a good steak were like, yeah! I'm gonna get them to a brawl, yeah! And the guys coming out of the health restaurant were like, oh man, alfalfa stress, man, I'm on this with the world, baby. You know, there was a very, very different energy.
I have heard that the German personality, the aggressiveness, is really part and parcel of their diet. You know.
It will be. It affects. We see it ourselves. I mean, I don't know how you feel. I know after I have a steak, I'm ready to go boxing or something like that. I have a different energy. But I know, but still, even steak itself, even animal affects you. It's permissible, I'm saying, but it affects you in different ways. The food you eat affects you.
Certain hormones in the animals. There's
What's
a lot
that?
of adrenaline in the animal who is not properly killed.
What's that?
There's a lot of adrenaline in an animal who is not kosherly killed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That also gets stuck there. That's a good point, yeah.
The idea of what we're talking about now is not just, it's an idea of refinement of character. And so if a predatory animal has, this kind of aggressive nature, or it could be crawly, bottom of the sea, that there's a certain unrefined aspect of, certain animals that we don't eat. And then when we don't, whatever, I'm just saying that, there's a certain refinement of character that the Torah wants us to develop within ourselves. And so we have this roadmap to find our character. So in all these different aspects, whether it's modesty in dress or action, or in the foods that we eat, or the different things that we find in our character.
But we're going to see it right now. We're going to see it right now. Let's do the last step here. Okay, let's do the last step. The last step is how this marriage between body and soul works. I want to share with you what the Medrash says. I've modernized it a little bit. The Medrash says as follows. The Midrash says the body and soul coming together is like a situation where the Queen of England would marry John from Leeds. And John from Leeds would say to Queen Elizabeth, he would take out a hamburger with his Cockney accent, he'd say, Lizzie, baby, have a bite of my cheeseburger with a lot of relish, babe, you love it. What does Lizzie say? You're so uncouth. That's what the Medrash tells us. Because it says the body wants certain pleasures, right? And the soul's like, ooh, you're so uncouth. They don't go together. The body wants things. The body, the Talmud says, the Medrash says, is like this example of John from Leeds. He's a crude guy, and he wants, the relish and the hamburger and the hot dog, and the soul is like the Queen of England. Well, whatever, more or less.